This would probably be the most unfair comparison in history, but as you can see from the title, Triple H versus Cody Rhodes, who would you choose? My name is Tubby Emu, and I am back to feeling like my old self. It's me, it's that T-U-B-B-E. Why am I sounding like I'm stealing that from CM Pulse? It's like I'm going to be living with him or something. I don't know. You know what I do know is Triple H and Cody Rhodes are two visionaries in this business. I'm not going to tell you to stay around for the whole video, and I'm not going to try to sell you on why you should make my watch time go up. All I can tell you is I'm back to my old self, feeling like that Tubby Emu discussion monster that has these legitimate conversations you guys used to love, for those that are just super passionate about wrestling and want to talk about it. So in this video, it is an unfair comparison because Triple H has a 5 to 7 year head start with NXT. All Elite Wrestling is a huge brand. There's so much going on, but that's not what I'm not going on WWE versus AEW. No, I want to talk specifically. We're going to have to kind of pretend in the future a little bit here. We have Triple H's body of work, but so far Cody's body of work hasn't been there. Cody Rhodes was fed up with his time in WWE and what he was doing, and he wanted to go on to something bigger and better, and he did. He bet on himself. He went all in and went to the independent scene. He toured everywhere. He went to New Japan, ROH. He met, the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, and being the Elite is history. We know their history. But with Triple H, NXT was his baby. That's why in this video, in the discussion between Triple H and Cody Rhodes, it's a little bit more nuanced than just picking one. Because WWE and FCW was in a hole. FCW, I never watched. I never bothered. It wasn't good. Maybe if you watched it, it was good television. But Triple H had the smarts to realize we need a performance center. He went after more athletes, and he created NXT. And NXT, for most fans, is their favorite show. It is good writing, it's planned ahead, mainly because of the fact that they get the benefit of taping it. So you don't have to worry about injuries, you don't have to worry about going on the road, you don't have to worry about anything. You show up and you tape. Triple H is allowed to plan the entire time, you get your promo packages, basically everything that he does creates the show. And that's pretty much what Cody Rhodes is doing on Being the Elite. Everything that you see, for the most part, has a reason for being there. It's not filler, it's not WWE. It leads to something. Triple H did that in NXT. If you see people talking, if you see people doing something, they're not just out there to fill hours on a weekly television show because they only have a finite amount of hours. So they're both visionaries. Triple H knew WWE was in trouble and they needed a developmental system. So he built one. Cody Rhodes, counterpoint, created his own company, started with Being the Elite, is funded by the Khans, and is bringing in a lot of, smaller name talent for good reason, because you want to build up talent, you want to spend less money, but there are so many talented performers that when you're starting a new company, you're willing to accept either possibly less money. We're in a time right now where if you have to choose, it's hard to say if you would pick Cody or Triple H because WWE is offering more money. You do not know what All Elite Wrestling is offering. But if you are going to All Elite Wrestling, if you are choosing to give up a WWE contract, that says a lot for Cody Rhodes and All Elite Wrestling. But if you're willing to give up your entire independent future and go to NXT, that's pretty much the same thing, except in one is a big company. So would those people have left WWE or wanted to leave WWE if they went down to NXT? Tyler Breeze and Fandango went down there. Did they go back down there because that was always the plan? I made a discussion video talking about that with NXT and possibly the genius of Triple H, and this was a long-term play to get a TV deal while they use the NXT for the WWE Network right now. Triple H was this guy that once he created the Performance Center, NXT is loved. Nobody has said, in my opinion, out loud, God, the company's going to suck when Triple H runs it. Nobody said that. Cody Rhodes was in Gorilla sitting right next to Tony Khan, and he was pretty much directing the entire show because he's just like Triple H. He grew up in the business, he watched, he learned, and they are both successful. So this isn't a choice between AEW and WWE. This isn't even a choice necessarily between Cody Rhodes and Triple H because they're almost the same person. Except one comes from a dynasty and one doesn't. One built his own dynasty and married into one. It is a fascinating comparison, not Vince to Cody Rhodes, Triple H, NXT to AEW. The fact that AEW and NXT could almost be the same. If Triple H got a TV deal for NXT, again, the C show of WWE, but for most fans, they say it's their favorite show, which is incredible. So Triple H creates NXT. Cody Rhodes has got All Elite Wrestling. Then you have the talent. You have Triple H bringing in and pretty much robbing the pond of all the big name superstars. Who's built bigger stars right now? You have so many talented superstars that Cody Rhodes has that he brought in that already had the hype. So this is like an episode of NXT, except waiting all year for one person to show up at a time at a takeover. You get them all right now. I can't wait to see where MJF is in 5 years. Adam Page, Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, Marco Stunt, Cody Rhodes, The Elite, the Young Bucks, where even Jericho's going to be. But the same thing with WWE, because I'm a true believer that something big is coming. I believe that WWE gives contracts and plans out based on the TV deals they have. Because if you're paying a lot of money, you want to have a structured content plan, and it's probably USA and whoever's fault. That WWE is probably a little bit more predictable. That's why stuff gets shut down. They don't want to go rogue. I don't know. Maybe that's why AEW did the TV model deal they did, so they could be more outrageous. So that way, if they're splitting the advertising, they can go out and get more people. WWE is focused on solely the TV rights, and they need to keep those viewers around. NXT, on the other hand, is the show that they produce that we do not know the viewership numbers for NXT. We've all said that maybe NXT, maybe the hardcore fans don't watch NXT. Maybe WWE in the main roster isn't ruining the NXT talent. Well, okay, they are. We can't debate that. Unless Triple H has this grand plan and then, like Tyler Breeze and Fandango, people go down to NXT. So when you look at the two and you're weighing all these options back and forth. One is a multi-time champion, but none of that mattered. Triple H's in-ring career and Cody Rhodes' in-career. We're not comparing Hunter Hearst Helmsley, I can't even believe I'm going to say this again, to Stardust. We're not comparing those two entities. From a visionary perspective, both guys pretty much bet on themselves. Both guys control their destiny, although one has to wait around on Vince. One doesn't have the full authority he wants just yet. I don't know if I can personally make this choice. I wanted to have this discussion to talk to you guys about this, mainly because I just think Triple H is rad. I think Cody Rhodes is rad. The fact that both of these guys bet on themselves, and pun intended, both guys went all in. NXT is everything. All Elite Wrestling is everything. That's something that's very unique in today's professional wrestling. We all thought, and people said back in the day, that Triple H was just robbing PWG and stealing their format. Now, 7 years later, that's the standard, putting on the PWG format super matches that All Elite Wrestling is doing because they don't have a TV deal yet, and we haven't got to see those characters weekly to know what they're doing. So we're in for a payoff. We're in for some greatness when this battle starts, but I don't think it's going to be a fair battle because until Triple H takes over, unless NXT got a TV deal, that's why I don't know if I can choose yet. Because if I had to choose right now, I can only compare NXT to All Elite Wrestling. But NXT can be so much more with the right guidance, with the right TV crew, with the right performers. And that's the tricky part, because that's exactly like All Elite Wrestling. WWE built these talents up in NXT. If Triple H knew that Vince would bury these talent or ruin them, and he was building brand loyalty, that's what AEW is building. Cody Rhodes is building brand loyalty. He's building that exclusivity that you got to be there. You want to be there. Triple H did the same thing with NXT. So everything that Cody Rhodes is doing that's like people are saying is revolutionary and analytical and everything else, I went back and saw my Triple H paper I wrote in 2015, 2016, Wrestling Isn't Wrestling Part 2, where Triple H is laying his oil wells around the world. He's an analytical guy. Triple H believes in the numbers. If the fans are all talking about these guys, he goes out and signs him for NXT. He is the analytical guy. Both guys have that mindset, and I honestly think they're almost the same person. So tell me, why did you make this? What am I choosing between? We're choosing between two revolutionaries who are going to change this business. Well, the main one is still producing a show that we tune into for one reason or another. And we don't know WWE and NXT's true potential, nor All Elite Wrestling's true potential with everything in place. There are no restrictions on All Elite Wrestling right now. There's a lot of restrictions on Triple H. So Triple H has had 5 years to do this, and now Cody Rhodes gets an unlimited checkbook to go after it and chase him. Cody Rhodes got to learn from Dusty Rhodes. Probably one of the best minds ever in this business. And that's saying a lot. And Triple H, whether we want to say it or not, has been around Vince McMahon. Again, one of the smartest minds in wrestling. Both guys have a feeling they know what they have to do to be successful. Both guys are finally getting more opportunity to just do that. And that's why I can make these discussion videos, because I'm not upset anymore. I'm not sitting around watching WWE television programming and being just bummed out all the time. Because even if I'm bummed out on a Raw, I just turn it off and go, oh God, only 2 more months till All Elite Wrestling. That's the mindset I want to have here on this channel. That's the mindset I want to have again for professional wrestling. My name is Tubby Emu, and I left the wrestling scene for the last 4 years because I was burnt out. But I laid the fertilizer. I groomed the gardens. I took care of it. And it's time for the payoff. What? Oh my God, Pulse. I thought Pulse was going to attack me. Although, wait, we're not in the same room yet. So let me know in the description down below. Tell me why. Tell me where you think they're going to go. Tell me who you think has more potential in the future. Alls I know is, as a wrestling fan, Triple H and Cody Rhodes, I couldn't have asked for 2 better performers, 2 better executives to basically control wrestling for the indefinite future. I'm very proud to be a wrestling fan, and I'm very proud to be able to have these discussions once again. So until next time, I'm Tubby Emu, and if I had to pick just one, I'd go with Triple H and say Cody Rhodes is stealing the gimmick. Brother. What do you think? Maybe Cody Rhodes is smarter than we all know. We're going to wait and find out coming this fall. Until next time, we will see you all later.